Hey, y'all, listen, happy Monday. Okay, I hope y'all had a good weekend. I had a really good weekend, and I'm glad Monday is here. Happy to be here with y'all. We got a lot to talk about. Did y'all watch the Grammys last night? I did a mixture of both. I saw part of the Grammys, and I saw Jay-Z convoluted, disjointed, dysfunctional speech. He had a Kanye West moment last night. Go sit down, Jay-Z. And Blue Ivy is so adorable. She's a cutie pie. Yes, she is. Gorgeous. Dress age appropriate. Beyonce and Jay-Z, they doing well with their kids from what it appears like. Yeah, the Grammys sucked. Yeah, come on, Savannah. Get in line, passengers, and get your ticket. Get your ticket. Yeah, so we can get on this train. Now, listen, we're here to talk the Real Housewives of Potomac. It's season 8, episode 12. And it was labeled Blazed and Confused. And yeah, I left confused. I'm confused about what's going on between Mia and G. I'm confused about why Wendy, y'all know we're going to talk about it tonight. I try to tread lightly because y'all act like Wendy can do no wrong. But we're going to have a conversation tonight because I'm confused. So you can invite Nneka to Happy Eddie's launch opening or whatever he did. You can invite Nneka to that. Nneka came in, she spoke to you. She approached you. She said, let's have lunch, let's talk about it. Gizelle walked in that event and they say a word to you, Wendy, to your event. And she shaded you at your event. Said, oh, was I laughing? Who said we had fun? She shaded you from the moment she walked in to the moment she left. She ain't have 2 words for you. But you wanted her at the table. Nneka came. She spoke. She told you what you got going on is dope. She asked, could we backstep? Because we got off to the wrong foot. I like to talk to you. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I'm ready. I'm going to try to receive. Well, girl, why you invite me here? If you ain't got nothing for me, why am I here? So your table could be full? Y'all we're going to talk about your girl Wendy tonight. Yes, we are. It ain't got nothing to do with light skin, dark skin, brown skin, none of that. We're talking about your girl Wendy because she messy. She messy. Then Gizelle. A man you claim scared you because in the hotel room, you was in there with him and you got scared because the door was closed. And he tried something, but you can't explain exactly what he tried and what he did to you. And you don't want nothing else to do with this man. But now this man comes in the room and you want to talk about, oh, he looked like he got fat from stress weight. If I have somebody I'm accusing of being a predator, and this man comes in the room in the space that I'm in, I ain't really going to be looking at him like that. Gizelle gets away with the most. And if Bravo are no longer paying people because they're not doing their job or they're not worth it anymore, then I need Robin to go. I need Gizelle to go. And if you can't tell what I'm talking about, I'm mad. Because Candy's not coming back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They did her dirty. Yeah, they did. But you know what? What's her name? What's her name over there living her best life with the African man? Living her best life, Portia. Now, when Roa goes down in the gutter and crash and burn and goes up in flames, be mad at yourselves. We needed Candy to be on the 16th season. Y'all could have fired her after that. Scramble this money together and get her on season 16. And then after that, let her go. She was the longest running housewife ever, and y'all broke her streak. Let me get back to this show because me is a mess too. Sitting there with G, and I don't know what that confused. That they labeled this thing right. What was that conversation that her and G had at lunch? It was confusing. They was talking about themselves, then they was talking about Ashley. What the heck? It was confusing. Nneka has a unboxing party at her house for her new house, and she's unboxing wedding gifts that she got 2 years ago. It was confusing. She plays this game, and listen, Levy, we saw Levy came. She didn't say much, but Levy was there. Like Levy got invited to the house at one point or whatever. And see, the people love to claim they rich, right? I got money, I got 17 houses, this and that. This is about the third scene. We seen in Nneka's house, and there's no furniture. About the third scene. If I'm not mistaken, I think the padlock was finally off the house. I gotta go back and look again. I can't with these ladies, but yeah, it's like the third scene, and she ain't got no chairs. It's a mess. I'm like, are y'all really living there? I don't even know if I saw the bed. Was there a bed? I'm not sure. My lips are dry. But was there a bed? I don't know. Somebody tell me. But it's a mess. So confused. Mia trying to come for the grand dame. Disrespectful. Disrespectful. I don't get it. And then Robin gets to get a full paycheck. And she just shows up and does nothing. Why is Sharice still in our life? Why? And you know, Bravo was so messy because remember when Sharice left, she had the champagne room. She was supposed to have a champagne line, whatever she was doing with the champagne. Well, now Nneka says she got a whole champagne line coming out. You know, Bravo know how to be messy. They just messy. They just messy. Yeah. This episode, yeah, I was confused. And then, you know, they had the weed party or launch event or whatever. And we're going to learn how to roll herbs or whatever the case may be. Now, I'm sure they couldn't do all that weed on TV or whatever. But why? I confused. Yeah, oregano. But you invite your arch enemies. They don't say a word to you. Nneka tries to speak to you. And you ain't got nothing for her. Then you sit in your confessional and you say, tell her get a U-Haul. What do you look like unpacking boxes? The same thing she looked like showing up to your party so somebody could be there. I'm telling y'all reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. That's the point blank in the period. You know what, Savannah, you right. They sure did. They had it at the dinner. They had the weed at the dinner. You reap what you sow. You don't want to be forgiven, and hence forgiveness won't come your way either. Listen, guys, I'm gonna load the train because I got worked up already. And I hope the panel, I hope y'all ready. Because we're going to have a conversation today about your Wendy. Yes, we are. Let her know we're having a conversation about her. She messy. But I'm going to give her this. Hands down, that white dress, she was wearing it. She was wearing that dress. But anyway, we still got to talk. Let's load this train. Y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Monday night and it's trending topics and it's time to talk the Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? We are going to recap this episode, Blazed and Confused. And yes, I was blazed and confused, okay? Blazed on my water. But anyway, people, let me load the train up. Come on now, let me bring the people in the building. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva. Listen here, never let a person tell you twice they don't fool with you.
Come on now. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Shan.
Hello, y'all. Choo, choo, choo.
And that's what Nneka did to her.
Hey.
So I'm gonna be supporting Wendy on her case.
You supporting Wendy, but we're gonna have to talk.
Listen, everyone, y'all better put y'all seatbelts because we're gonna have a real conversation about Wendy.
Okay,
This show is gonna become the real.
Come on now, the real. We're gonna have a real conversation.
And it's gonna get canceled because y'all dragging
It's
Wendy.
gonna be a shaky train tonight. That's for sure.
Because I'm back.
Come on. Oh shoot! Now Sebastian's
Well,
back.
Sebastian is back.
Because I'm gonna put you on down too.
Wait. Sebastian missed jury duty, but he here now. Come on now, Sebastian. You're in the building. I ain't mad at you. Okay. So let's talk about this right here. Let's talk about this first scene. You know, Gizelle, Ashley, G and A. You know why I'm not feeling that name? Because it reminds me of the news show. What's the news show?
Good Morning America.
Good Morning America.
GMA.
Good Morning America, right? And it's GNA. Do Gizelle not get enough with being sued? You know, she got what's it, Shady? What's it, Slim Shady? Eminem sued her. Yeah, just GNA. It's too tricky. It's too much. GNA. They couldn't come up with another name. But they go to the fabric store and they're looking for fabrics, you know, to do for their brand. Mia comes, Robin is there, and you know, they're all talking and they're kind of helping them out and picking out the fabrics. Now I'll give them this. They do have a good idea. They do have a good idea in terms of putting the padding there where you sweat the most when you go to the gym. Now, if they get something right, they can patent it. They get something and they make it right or whatever the case may be. They may have a little something going on here.
They do. They may have a little something.
They may have a little something. But you know what? This GNA, I want them to find another name. But they're already loving it. So Nneka and Lebe comes over to the house. Okay? And her and Lebe's friend or whoever was all there. And stop by Nneka's house, and Nneka, talk about she gonna have a champagne line. Then she had to drag the chairs from the kitchen up to the closet because she still don't got nothing going on in the house. I'm gonna need Nneka to get it together. The next scene I see at that house, I'm gonna need to see a piece of furniture there. Because you the one told us you was rich. I didn't ask you. I wouldn't care. I could care less if it never got furnished. But you the one told us you got all this money. You're rolling in the dough, so I'm going to need to see you get some furniture in this home. And clean it up already. Get it together. Y'all knew y'all was going to be on TV. Now, Candace and Chris, they talking. And they talking about going to Eddie's party. And Chris said, I'm going to be okay no matter who I see at this party. But you can still tell that Chris is mad. He's hurt. And Candace is booked and busy. Here she is. She's doing TV shows. She's doing all kind of stuff. She's booked and busy. I ain't mad at Candace. And Candace is about a minute big. She's cute. I like Candace. But Candace is reckless with her mouth. I'm not going to deny that. She reckless with the mouth. But she cute. Okay? Just as big as a minute. Then, should I stop there? I'll stop there for a minute. You know what? Should I add it? That's 1, 2, 3 scenes. I'll add this weed party scene. I might as well go add that Mary Jane. I add the Mary Jane scene where, Eddie's throwing his party. Candace and Chris came, but Candace just came to drop Chris off and let the people know I have to go. And pretty much don't let my husband get beat down in here with these chicks when they come because he's going to stay here and represent the both of us. And I'm looking to thank you, Smack to you. Listen, y'all cheating the diva. I should just close out the live right now. You're cheating the diva. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. Get your ticket if you want to remain a passenger on this train. Get your ticket. Please hit that like button. So Candace and Chris comes, but she just dropped them off. Mia and G comes, but midway, G had to leave. The way Mia treats G, God bless him. But you know what, though? It's a prime example. You reap what you sow. He had a wife, allegedly, when he met Mia. But he wanted him to PYT. Now look what the PYT doing to you. You down in the gutter. She said your whole family turned on you. You got no one but her, and she don't even want you. Messy. The grand dame always travels with her assistant. That's why this thing was labeled confused. I'm confused. I mean, is Ray can't make it to these? What's going on with Ray? Because every time Karen shows up, she got the assistant. I hope he getting a check outside of the check, whatever Karen's paying him. The show need to be giving him a little something too, because he forever following behind Karen. Okay, and me and the grand dame gets into it at this event. Because she didn't want the invite. She didn't get the invite. She didn't like the invite. She didn't like that she was a second hand to the invite. It was a mess. It was a mess. And Nneka arrived, and Nneka and Gizelle and Robin were there, didn't say a word to Wendy. How do you show up to somebody's event and you do not greet or say anything to the host? But Nneka, who spoke to her, Nneka, who told her business was dope. Nneka, who threw out an olive branch and said, listen, you said I skip steps. I'll back up. I'll put the train in reverse, and I'll let's meet. Let's talk. Let's do that. I'm not there yet. I hear what you're saying. What? Why did you invite me here then? Why am I here? Wendy got the right one. Because I'm telling you this right now, Robin would have had a show if I was Nneka. Now, I'm trying, girlfriend, but you ain't going to be playing me out like this, not on the TV. You know you won't. You invite me here to roll this oregano for your husband's situation because you didn't want to have an empty seat. You wanted these seats to be full, and now you're going to play me out. You're messy. Yeah, I would have told her. That's where Gizelle talked about in the confessional about Chris's weight, the stress weight. Gizelle is messy. Was it Mia? Or I forgot who said. Somebody said that Eddie is always available attorney. I think it was Mia. You got your husband who lost his whole business. Y'all ain't got nothing going on in terms of the business, and you worrying about what attorney is available or not available. You could go sit down. Let me stop there because we got stuff to talk about. In my opinion, your thoughts on those scenes?
Okay, so let's start off with Gizelle and Ashley in this doggone workout store. Baby, I was confused. I was lost and confused when they started picking out patterns. I was like, who gonna wear that? Mm-hmm. Okay. And I don't know what kind of I ain't into women health that much, but I don't know what kind of things they got down there that they need some extra fabric down there to catch the sweat. I'm sorry. Must be because they having they stuff done down there. They need
no. You do get very sweaty in that area.
I don't.
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
I do too.
Yeah, you get.
I don't.
That was really weird. Okay, and so listen here, Candace is booked and busy, and she's doing what she needs to do. Okay, because she don't know when these Bravo checks gonna end because these girls don't like her. So she doing what she need to do. Stay booked and busy, baby girl. When we get to this party, okay. So first of all, they said that they couldn't do it because it's not completely legal there yet. It is now. It wasn't at the time of this party. So that's the reason why they had to roll with the oregano. Here's the thing. I keep telling everybody, and this goes for men, this goes for your friends, this goes for everybody. Never let somebody tell you twice they don't fool with you. Okay? Nneka has came in Wendy's face far too many times and told her, I don't fool with you. And even when she was in her face trying to do that, Wendy asked her, she said, I ain't even got an apology yet. And she said, well, that's what we're trying to sit down and do. Okay, see, right there, you ain't even took no accountability. I just said, you ain't even apologized. And you still ain't apologizing. You saying, I got to sit down with you. Okay, Wendy is leading with precaution. And as we can see, we saw the clip that she is going to go sit down with her. And it's still going to go wrong because Nneka heart ain't in the right place. As far as Mia talking about somebody that don't have no job, I don't see her having no job neither. None of her Gizelle. I don't know what Gizelle, Ashley, Robin. Well, Robin got a few little jobs. I don't know if they doing anything. But Gizelle, Ashley, and Mia, what y'all doing other than cashing a Bravo check? I'll wait. Um, Here's the thing. Mia thinks she going up against. Let me tell you something. I don't know who pumped her head up this since they've been off, but somebody pumped Mia head up and told her she was real big. Because when she came for Karen, I'm so glad Karen put her in a face in a place, baby. Listen here, don't come for the grand dame.
I hear you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I don't understand the weed event without weed. It's like a fashion show with no fashions. How dreadful. Awful. So you just wait till it got legal and then do your party. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You gotta know how to roll it to get it.
Come on, people. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. We are collecting tickets. Hit the like button or get kicked off the train. So you trying to say Wendy was you gonna, if you know you don't forgive me, why invite me to your event?
You remember when they was on that bus, they kept pressuring her to invite Nneka on that bus. Mm-hmm. You remember when they was going to the what was that? Sioux Falls, wherever Karen from.
Surrey County.
Yeah, Surrey County. They kept telling her, "Oh, you gotta invite Nneka. You gotta invite everybody." That's the reason why she sent it. She didn't. Here's the thing. I don't think you understand that in the Nigerian culture, being called a witch is like saying you xenophobic. That's a big deal. Forget the shrine and all that, because shrines is in almost every religion. It is. It just is. It's in the Catholic religion. But being called a witch, that's far beyond. I just don't understand how, if somebody called you an N word or a B word, you'd be offended. Because I ain't no female dog. And you know what I'm saying? And I don't nobody want to be called out their name. And I dang sure ain't finna let you sit here and keep disrespecting my mama, and I'm gonna run in your face to keep on for you to keep on doing it. You gotta step to me. You gotta step to me correct. I'm sorry. It's just ain't finna happen.
JC, I appreciate you. We on the car together right now. Wendy is grown. She didn't have to invite Nneka. Stop it. That's what I'm talking about. If you so offended and that was so egregious and it's a no-no in your culture, there ain't no way on this earth that anybody's going to walk up in my house that I don't want to be here. I don't care if 20 people say you got to invite her. Then I'm not doing it. It's not going to happen. No.
Well, luckily it wasn't in our house.
The wild part is though, you okay with being piss poor mad at her, but you got two other chicks that walked up in your spot and said nothing to you. And that's cool, but because this girl said XYZ, she's done forever. But the two chicks that been disrespecting you season after season after season after season, you still come in their face. And matter of fact, in the beginning, you tried to go hug her and she backed up. But now she's at your husband's event. Come on now. But I hear what you're saying, but we just are not on the same train car tonight. And it's okay. Katrina, you're up.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing tonight? The first thing with the fabric, I don't know who's gonna be wearing them. Maybe y'all could wear them. Let me know how it goes. But I just have to sit back and wait. I'll see if it's gonna be on Temu, because who else gonna get it? But anyway, no flex to all the world, to all of them. Maybe they have success in whatever they're trying to do, because they're gonna need that money. With the situation with Wendy and the party whatsoever, Nneka came in talking behind Wendy back already when she said Wendy dressed up like a joint. The thing of it is, Nneka, okay, Nneka's is sort of like a Mia. You can't believe the stuff that she say is confusing as well. Just like when y'all saying the stuff that Wendy do is confusing. And y'all have to realize sometimes production steps in and make these people go to these places. Because like I said myself, Robin wouldn't have been invited. Gizelle wouldn't have been invited, or Nneka. Because if you don't like me, I don't want you coming nowhere around me. And the situation is, like I told you, Wendy's husband is the business mind. Yeah, I invite you because I'm doing business. I'm doing business. And they had weed, but they had to take the weed home. They just had to roll the oregano up on TV. But the thing with Wendy and Nneka, if Nneka would have came straight from the beginning, maybe it would have been a different scenario. Like I said, it ain't the thing I'm going up for Wendy. I'm just going by how I see it on TV. And another thing, with Mia coming for the Grand Dame, babe, she needs to stay in her lane. Them folks put y'all out that company because y'all was spending that money, which you probably wasn't supposed to be spending. You renting it out. Why ain't no darn way? I'm finna upgrade no house, and I'm not buying this house. You got all these other houses, but you want to go in Potomac and rent a $10,000 house a month, and you want to pay $50,000 to renovate it. There's something ain't gonna be yours. They spending too much money. I don't blame that family. I would have put them out there too. Cause what was she doing? She wasn't doing nothing but throwing on that little cape and going to the office pretending like she working and wasn't doing a thing. Cause if you was the CEO or whatever you supposed to be in, you would have been thrown out the company like that. With Ashley, I don't know. We haven't got to that part yet. But like I said, the thing, I'm not coming hard on Nneka tonight. I ain't gonna do it. But I'm just saying, Nneka came in being disrespectful, talking behind Wendy back. And no, I wouldn't trust you at the front. And then for me to come to your house to unload some boxes, it sounds like you said, you supposed to have all this money. Girl, why you ain't hiring no decorators, interior designs, or anything like that? You got all this money, but you want your friends to come open up your wedding gifts? Why you don't open up your own wedding gifts? If your wedding means so much to you, why you don't open up your own gifts? You want somebody to come in and do your work and decorate your house, but you claim to have so much money. Girl, get it together. Then you saying you selling sparkling wine, and you talking about you want to get pregnant, but you taking your vitamin with wine. Don't you know that alcohol is going to eat up the nutrients? You supposed to be a lawyer. Get it together. That's all I got to say about them. I'm good. I'm done, y'all.
I appreciate you. But you know what? It's funny, right? When we say everybody got to show up to everybody's event because of production. Everybody didn't show up to Cameron's event. What's good? What's good? If we going to talk tonight. We're going to talk tonight. What's good? Everybody did not show up for Karen's event. They declined. They declined.
That's what I'm saying. But see, the production
hold on, Katrina. They just said, everybody saying in the chat, no, she had to go to production and this, and they all have to show up for each other's event. They did not all show up for the Grand Dame's event. They did not.
But I'm saying maybe production didn't tell them that. I'm just saying. I think the production seeing that they're going to certain
I think
things.
it's because she did it at the last minute. They said they got the invitation 12 hours before. So production couldn't step in.
That's what I'm saying. Because that's what I think is happening. Because people are complaining. And I think people are complaining because they seeing that Gizelle is not going to everything because she's so afraid that because she's been getting death threats and all this. But Candace was getting death threats. Wendy was getting death threats. D threats.
We gotta watch the words, Katrina.
D threats.
Here's the thing, though, right? They get a call sheet. So y'all trying to say at the 11th hour, production accepted a late call sheet from Karen, the Grand Dame. Everybody else, they say if so-and-so throw an event, you gotta show up. They allowed the Grand Dame to really or not invite everybody, but then everybody else, they tell them you have to invite. Come on, y'all got to stop. Now if we're going to talk, we got to make this make sense.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
Hold on, Katrina. Y'all going to tell me for one event, production makes people do everything. You got to invite everybody. You got to do this. You got to do that. Now, the Grand Dame is the most neutral person in the building. So y'all going to tell me that production allowed her at the 11th hour to say I want this one, that one, or that one, when they know that when you have a certain amount of people, they got to put a certain amount of people in the tally to do whatever the case may be. Now, I'm not going to accept that, but if y'all want to roll with that, y'all go ahead and roll with that. Savannah,
No, but what I'm saying is,
Thank you, Dee.
no, but what I'm saying is, just like,
hold on.
no, I know, but what I'm saying is, when Karen didn't invite everybody, okay, all of a sudden it came back, she had to invite everybody. What I'm saying is, I think production stepped in and told her to invite everybody, because she didn't invite everybody at first. But then she had to come back and invite, and she sent our call list to everybody. They
Okay, I
just didn't
appreciate you,
show up.
Savannah. I
But
got
she
five
had, I
other
believe
people that
production
got to
had,
go.
I believe
I
production
got
told them
you.
to do it.
I
You see
got
what I'm
you.
saying?
Yes, I do. Savannah, you're up.
Whew, thank you, Diva. Oh my
Ah, you
goodness.
are.
Uh, I didn't think we were gonna get much out of out of last night's show, but obviously we did. So with Giselle and Ashley showing up to Joanne's Fabrics to pick out some fabrics, I think Giselle has a deal with production to only be filmed from like the mid thigh up, because Giselle's legs are looking more and more like the early stages of Wendy Williams when she was going through the swelling of her legs. So I think Giselle has something going on. And with this athleisure wear workout clothing line that they're trying to get, that they're trying to put together, these two fake women. I mean, I was so upset with these two last night. This whole scene, and I'm tired of this show playing in our faces, being so low budget, low vibrational. And it makes me upset that I live in this area and they can't find anybody better to represent what really is going on in the DMV area. I recall during the pandemic, that Fabletics. I remember Kate Hudson, and Diva, you work out, because I see your shorts in the morning. When you're in the gym and nobody's there with you. Kate Hudson, as you know, she does a lot of workout, and she was a brand ambassador for Fabletics. She was with them since like mid 2015, 16. She did her market research. She had an advisory board. She wanted to, I remember her doing something about doing some research on age demographics, the market. And Kate really did some research on what she was going to be bringing to that brand. She just didn't want to be a celebrity endorsing a brand. And
Right.
she wanted to be a full investor into that brand. And Kate really elevated Fabletics, and to the point where it did actually grow in revenue. She is now on the advisory board, and then Kevin and Nico Hart took over, I think in 2021, and
Oh,
they are
really?
now, yes, and they are now the brand ambassadors for Fabletics, because Kevin needed something for Nico to do, and then Nico is now the brand ambassador for Fabletics. But they also did their homework. They went with they looked at, because they wanted to bring it more to an urban feel, but they looked at what these women don't even know the materials for workout gear. It is a spandex material. It's lycra jersey, like when what's her name, Giselle said, let me get some jersey material. That type of material, nylon and polyester, that absorbs sweat and gives you body odor when you're working out and makes you stink. For workout gear, it's look at any of your stretchy clothing, workout gear that you have in your closet right now or in your drawers. It is all lycra and spandex, and these women know nothing about workout gear. It just really upset me with the fakeness and everything that were going on. I didn't understand why Giselle was interested in a trip that she had nothing to do with, but it was just pure gossip. I love that they caught what's her name, Ashley, trying to lie, immediately trying to lie, saying Nneka wasn't invited, but Mia called her out quickly and said no, she was invited. I need Ashley, whatever 3D printer she's using to print her clothes on, I really need her to throw out that 3D printer. Just throw it out the window, please. She is just horrible dresser. I just can't stand it. But I do agree with Mia on she should have been on the original invite, and I would have been a little off. I would have been upset with Karen, if you're supposed to be my friend and we're on some type of rebuilding our relationship. I should have been on the original invite. So I could understand why Mia was a little bit off-putting. And 12 hours to come to an event, I would have just declined as well. Um, the same thing. Why aren't these lawyers lawyering? I never seen Nneka at work. I don't see Eddie at work. And they're supposed to be lawyers. I never seen them doing anything about that. As far as their professions. And you, Diva, as a medical professional, everything I've always understood, you don't take pills with any type of alcohol. And that's all that I've seen Nneka do so far is I haven't heard about this brand. I haven't seen it on the shelves. Whatever she's pushing, a sparkling wine. I think she's trying to do the J Lo thing as well, the Lola. I don't know what she's doing with. I haven't seen it. I don't know. Um, this big home, no furniture, no sink. I was looking for a white refrigerator. I wish there was a need in this moment. Honestly, I was like, I mean, it just upset me because the way that she came on, I have a rich daddy. I'm a rich bee. And then you don't even have movers, and you've been in there, I don't know how long enough to get the lockbox out the door because I didn't see it on your door. She just seems lazy to me. I don't understand Nneka at all. I will never ask my friends to come over, and these had to be my good friends, my girlfriends. I will never ask them to come over and help me unpack and set up my home. My home is my sanctuary, my castle. That is for me to do. Or if she has all this money, hire movers or stagers or something. These women use the word friends or girlfriends too loosely. So for her to say that she was going to have this girlfriend pajama party, it was just too much for me. Candace belongs in a Lifetime movie space for me. I love what she's doing, and I think,
Mhm.
and I hope she does leave the show soon, just like Candy. I think she's outgrowing this, and I am thinking that Chris is in some form of depression. What I saw on Chris last night actually kind of worried me. Um,
Mhm.
I did like Wendy's. I loved Wendy's white dress. I actually sent her a message on Instagram and asked her where she got it. I hope she messaged me back and lets me know where did she get it, because I absolutely loved her dress.
Mhm.
And then I'll hit on the weed party, because weed at that time that they did film was not cannabis was not legal in Maryland. However, it is legal in Virginia and DC. They could have easily had the event right across the bridge. I don't know why they didn't. That was just silly of having a weed party with no weed. So, oh, and I wanted to let you know she did have a new episode of her show, and it is with
Mhm.
Wendy. It's all over the place, but it is still good.
Thank you.
But
Trace,
the lockbox is not on the door. If you go look and see when Ashley came in with her little pajama set or whatever that is, the lockbox is not on the door.
okay, she's saying it is. I have to look back. I didn't see it, but I wasn't sure. But I guess the lock box is off. See, here's the thing. Yes, Diva, your real friends, not your coworkers who you don't like. Well, that part right there, right? So listen, my friends help me move. I help my friends move. We help each other do the most. It wasn't so much. I wasn't so offended by the help. It's just that it's a messy situation, and I guess I get it. They need to have scenes or whatever, but she should have had, I guess she couldn't think of no other scene, right? So she found these boxes and they helped unpack the boxes, and whatever that was, it was, right? um it's just, but what it is it's a hot mess. And if you, I don't know how soon in advance a new housewife gets to know that she's going to be on the show, but I would implore the next housewife to think long and hard about which your storyline could be and what you can bring to the table. Because when they make stuff up along the way, it just becomes a whole hot mess. You're up. And yeah, not one of them brought a gift, but I want to say, remember, Gizelle and Sharice was there before. I can't remember if Gizelle brought a gift the first time, but I know Sharice did. Sharice did bring a gift the first time. But you're up.
Girl, please. Gizelle came to that house last week empty-handed. But before I get too deep in it, every week I come up here, folks claim Wendy is being ostracized and mistreated due to colorism.
Come on.
The problem is Wendy is treating Nneka the same way Gizelle and Robin treat her. And Nneka is from her same culture and they're the same complexion almost. Mm-hmm. So what's that called?
Come on, you gotta talk about it.
Damn.
Hold on, E. Say that again for the people in the back. What's that be? Okay, go ahead. Okay.
Plus, if the term witch is considered a derogatory term in the Eastern Hemisphere, I would equate that to being called a colorist in the Western Hemisphere. It's synonymous. Gizelle says she received threats on not only her person, but her kids. Then when they got to the reunion last year, Wendy backpedaled harder than Coppin State University when they gave Juan his pink and white slip. The reason I'm not empathetic towards Wendy is because you cannot be a victim and a villain all at the same time. You have to pick a struggle and stay there, in my book. Now, let me get to the scenes because I almost forgot. Okay, we started off at the fabric store with the new freaking frack here. They needed something to absorb the coochie sweat. Okay, I get it. But bad news, Tootie Pie. The name GNA is already trademarked. Not only is it the name of a musical act, y'all can go and look it up if you want, but there's also a consulting and tech firm who also use the acronym Global News Alliance as well, Georgia Nurses Association, plus the GNA Salon Services. I tell you, Gizelle can't catch a break. And after Eminem put a stop to your Reasonably Shady podcast,
Come on now, come tell it, E. Tell it, E.
That you would do some research before you just start naming your products and services and releasing it to the public. Mm-hmm. I mean, Robin calls her hats embellished. Gizelle and Ashley, maybe you can call your pants simplified sweat or something simple with their initials where their initials aren't used. Like, how about chin and ankles? I mean, anything but that. So, anywho, y'all been dying to meet LaBae. Well, here she is. LaBae is standing on business and she is filming scenes with Nneka while Wendy is running around Maryland more scared than a praying grandmother at the R. Kelly concert with her 11-year-old granddaughter. The witnesses are in the lobby and the prosecution rests. So we're going to see how this plays out. Last thing, Wendy and Edward hosting their Devil's Grass event. Only they didn't have any devil's grass, okay? Instead, they're rolling up this Parmesan cheese and cayenne pepper. I get it. The weed didn't become legal until July 1st. Y'all started filming in April. So, I mean, they're cousins, but they're right around the corner. But, okay. Despite having a weed party with no weed, I will commend Wendy on extending an invite to everyone. That's reality TV. That's how you do it. On the other hand, Robin and Gizelle were wrong as four left shoes, walking into that weed event and not even speaking to Wendy nor Edward from what we saw. That's just junkie behavior. No home training is what I call it. All in all the ladies look really nice. But when Mia got in her confessional and talked about Karen had gotten Botox to the back of her forehead, I was thinking, hold up, Mia. You're filled up with all kinds of injections. Now, your body looks nice, but your face has been plumped up a little too tight, too. You be one to talk, Mia. I did not appreciate that. And another thing, I thought it was extremely tacky for Mia to wait till Gordon got up to leave, kiss her on the cheek, and bid her friends adieu. Then for her to turn around and say, I want to clock out. I want to leave him, but I can't because he has nobody. His family has turned the family turned their back on him and they don't care if he has anything to eat tomorrow. To me, that was brutal because when I heard that, I could not believe that she said that. I had to rewind it. I don't give a damn what Robin asked you at that table. You did not have to say that. And I couldn't agree with Gizelle more when she made this comment. When you marry a man 15 years older than you, this is what comes with it. These men aren't looking for no true love. These men are looking for maids, chefs, live-in nurse aides, personal Uber drivers. They're old men, for Pete's sake. I'm still not ready to throw Mia all the way to the wolves just yet because, yes, Mia is harsh with her words, but I do think Gordon is a nasty piece of work. And I'll provide my additional comments on that later. So I'm just going to yield my time.
Yeah, I still felt a little bad for Gordon, but you know what? He made this bed, so he got to lay in it. And you know, we just gonna have to say we gonna call it just different ends of the roads when it come to Wendy and her antics. But go ahead, you know what I'm trying to say? Everybody's saying we're villainizing her, this, that, and the other. I'm calling what I see on the screen, and I do not put 20 on 10. And in the first season, I thought they did her dirty, but no dirtier than the game she's playing now too. Shan, you're up. Go ahead.
She's smelling. No, she's smelling herself.
Woo!
And she cannot use that elitist attitude with Gizelle and Robin because in her mind, they've scored too high for her to ever catch up. But she can haze Nneka, though, because Nneka's fresh meat on the block. See, Wendy's choosing her battles carefully, but you can't stir up sympathy with the viewers and say that you're being mistreated, but you turn around and use that same treatment as a sword towards the next new girl. That's no, baby. We have to be mature. You said that you got all these degrees. Use them. Use your emotional intellect and just stop talking about you being Catholic and exercise some forgiveness because you're not in Nigeria right now. You're in Maryland.
Yeah, boom, boom. Shane, you're up.
Let me tell y'all what you see on the screen.
Oh, shoot.
What you see on the screen is you don't know this girl from nowhere. You hear, imagine this, you hear a new castmate is coming on. The first thing you hear is this castmate is coming for you, talking about your mother. If somebody's talking about your mother and all this stuff, you don't know them from nowhere. How are you supposed to respond? Of course, your guard is going to be up. If I was Wendy, I'm not helping that girl pack out no boxes. Girl, you so rich. You have 5 houses with no furniture. Make it make sense. Prioritize. First, I'll get me 1 house, furnish that, then get another house. But you know, that's Nneka for y'all. Boring, irrelevant, can't dress. Somebody get Nneka a stylist. Mia, Karen, why are we forgiving Nneka? The only thing Wendy did wrong is invite Nneka to her weed event. That was the only thing. I would not invite her nowhere. You attack my mother, my family, my roots, my culture. That's what y'all seen on the show. I would pay her dust. And who's Nneka for Wendy to befriend anyways? We don't know the girl. She, to me, is the most unwelcoming housewife I've ever seen. Like the worst housewife. One of. You can't dress. Your whole storyline's another girl. You have 10 houses, but you can't hire somebody to unpack. When I move, honey, I get somebody to unpack my boxes. I don't even have no money. So, please. You say you're a lawyer, but then you want to do wine, all this stuff. And then when I saw her hanging out with Lebby, it's like, do you want Wendy's life? You trying to come in and be Wendy and then steal Wendy's friend? That's what y'all seen on TV.
Wait, what?
Because isn't Lebby Wendy friend?
Lebby's Nneka's husband's cousin.
You better tell her that
Wendy's sister's best friend that they fell
Wendy
out.
didn't know Lebe, remember? She didn't know who she was.
That come on now, Emmanuel.
Listen,
Lebe was the sister's friend.
Yes, the sister's friend. But we're not talking about that right now. We talk about what happened.
But you told us you was gonna tell us what we saw. No, we ain't gonna talk about that right now. Okay, go ahead.
No, but I didn't. So that means they're friends because that's her husband cousin.
Well, she said she wanted the daughter to be just like her.
Huh?
She said she wanted the daughter to be just like her. So
No, I'm saying Nneka. Y'all saying that's Nneka's husband cousin, but that don't mean they're friends. I have cousins. I have friends. I call Emmanuel my cousin. He's not really my cousin. I have cousins who I don't talk to in years. So I don't think they're friends based on that. I think Nneka is trying to take Wendy's whole spot and identity, allegedly. Yeah, that's what I said. Period. No, let me stop.
You know what? Here's the thing. Let me be clear. They brought Nneka on to knock Wendy off her square, right?
Yes,
they did.
Good way to put it.
Right?
Great way to put it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. I'm not removed from that. I'm not blind to that. But see, the thing is, Wendy and Candace been on this and playing this game longer than Nneka. So my thing is, you've been playing this game and you still don't know the rules and how to play it. Make that make sense. So my thing is, if I was going to do a scene and get gangster, when she would have got to the door, I changed my mind. I don't want you here, Nneka, because I still didn't forgive you yet. If you want to do a show, but what you can do is allow her to be in the seat so your room could be filled. And then when she comes try to talk to you, you got all this stupid smoke. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. You invited me here. So what is the invite about if you're not going to even do an olive branch and do some road to forgiveness? If you can't even think about forgiving me, why am I here?
Because there's steps. She thought about it. She was like, okay, phase one. This is the thing. Nneka now want to be all BFFs and invite you to pack. Not even like
Nneka want to get a check and play the game, but I'll come back to you, Shan. Emmanuel, you up? Because you got to tell Shan what she really saw.
Yes, I do. Well, let me start from the beginning. Listen, I support the ladies and their business because, I mean, I'm not going to buy that anyway, clearly. But, you know, if it works for them, whatever. As far as Mia, listen, I love the Grand Dame. Everyone knows that. But Mia has a point. You should not be treating people as second-class citizens trying to do second-string invites and then get mad because someone didn't drop all their stuff they were doing in the last minute. So I kind of do support Mia on that. She's got a point. So let's get to the nitty-gritty. So if y'all want to talk about Nneka gotta get it together, then y'all better forward that message to Wendy. Because Wendy, how is she gonna be teaching the new generation when she herself lacks etiquette, class, and manners?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, if you invite someone to an event, they are your guest. They took time out of their day to come to your event to roll up some oregano. Okay, but she was clearly salty. And I'm going to give a huge shout out to Nneka again for being a class act. She stepped down her throne and lowered herself to try and mend things with Wendy. But Wendy was very hostile and condescending, as she usually is with everyone. She thinks she's better than everyone. And you gotta be thankful that the people showed up. But I will agree that Gizelle was extremely rude for not even acknowledging her. But then that kind of cancels out with what Wendy did towards the end. But I can guarantee y'all this, though. Had Gizelle asked Wendy to meet with her, Wendy would have been jumping and screaming of excitement. But she didn't do that with Nneka, which confirms to me that Wendy is extremely jealous and extremely intimidated by Nneka. And that confirms why Susan was making these phone calls like a crazy woman. And y'all can say, oh, but Nneka came for Wendy. Well, I was thinking about this. Well, Gizelle came for Wendy's marriage, right? And also, did Mia not only...
Oh, no, come back, Emmanuel.
To what? Oh, yeah. And didn't, I was going to say, didn't Mia not just throw a drink, but didn't she also accuse Wendy of sleeping with Peter Thomas at the reunion? But for some reason...
Can you focus on the episode at hand?
No, because we gotta bring it on. We gotta bring it on. Because if someone is accusing you of cheating on your husband for some business with Peter Thomas, how can you see past that, but you can't see past things with Nneka? That's interesting. Or maybe, let's think about another way. Maybe Wendy's able to get over it because what Gizelle and Mia said was
the apology is the difference. I mean, well, you know better.
Yeah.
Opinion.
And they didn't talk
Nneka is
about her
trying.
mother.
She's trying to apologize.
They didn't talk about her
This is
mother,
his
though.
method. No, let Emmanuel talk. This is his method. You threw a drink on me. You threw your pocketbook at me. The other one's holding up the phone like it's TMZ. Y'all all laugh. Nobody came to see about me. But all of them is at the table, and it's all good. It's all good in the hood. But Nneka comes in because, oh my gosh, she brought up witchcraft and this, that, and the other. Well, let's be clear. If we're watchers, are y'all watchers out there? Have y'all been watching the whole time? Let's be clear. Way before Nneka, Wendy herself brought up that situation and said that is why her husband family don't really speak with her, get down with her, so forth and so on.
That part.
Are we talking? Come on now. She brought it up. She brought it up. Can I say it one more time? She brought it up.
They
And that
didn't
was the
talk
reason
about
why,
her mother.
hold on, no. And that is the reason why the husband family seemed to not want to be around them. Because have we seen Eddie's mother, his father? Have we
His
seen
siblings?
his brother, his sister, a cousin, an uncle? Have we seen anybody from Eddie's family? Way before we got introduced to Nneka. We have not. But see, y'all want to keep it 100. Wendy started it and brought it up, and that's why the connection held a little bit more, and that's why Nneka was able to throw this mess into the storyline, because Wendy brought it to the table for us. I mean, if y'all got on demand, go and check it out. Anyway, go ahead, Emmanuel.
Perfectly said, Diva. So yeah, Wendy's still bothered, and I think it's because it was the truth. I honestly don't think that Nneka would go out of her way to make something like that up, and she showed the phone calls. She showed that these phone calls indeed did happen. But Wendy, she's not a nice person. She is a mean girl. Let's not forget that she blatantly accused Nneka of smoking crack. Y'all remember that? But she wanted her to apologize for calling her a B.
She sure did. Now, Lorraine's saying that's not true. Lorraine, I promise you that Wendy addressed it. Yes, she did.
Yep. It happened at the reunion with Monique. I remember.
No, but not only at the reunion with Monique. Before they had the situation where Levy was at, and she explained, she said to Levy, I want my daughter to be like you. They addressed why her husband's family was never around. They addressed.
Yeah, I remember
Diva,
that.
if I may. Diva, if I may.
Yes, you can.
Diva, if I may, because she
Yes.
did address it on her latest episode with Eddie. The reason why his family and stepped away from speaking with him and her was because Eddie, the family had him poised to be an engineer, and Eddie went to school and graduated to be an engineer. And he had a lucrative job as an engineer. When it was not good enough for Wendy and Miss Sue, and they wanted him to be a lawyer, and so Eddie walked away from that engineering job and went to law school, and the family turned their backs on Eddie because Eddie turned his back on the family to fulfill the dream of what Wendy and Miss Sue wanted him to do, which was become a lawyer. And once he went into law school,
I appreciate you in that. I'm telling you, this is her backtracking now on her channel with the interview. I'm telling you what I saw on the Real Housewives of Potomac and what she said out of her own mouth. We got to go pull up that episode. And it was a couple episodes before they did whatever they did for the daughter that they recapped the scene back when they said, you do know Levy, because Levy was there, and you said you want your daughter to be like Levy. I promise you, on the Real Housewives of Potomac, she addressed her family being accused of that, and that is why Eddie's family didn't come around. She can change it now if she wants to. Come on now. At Diva, you're so right. I remember Wendy making that statement on the show. I promise you, I did not miss, and I used to watch it with my girlfriends, and we used to talk on the phone. She said that is the reason why Eddie family does not come around, but she also said that it was not true. She said it was not true. She first, come on now, Vanessa. Thank you for the people that remember. Thank you for the people that remember. She said that it wasn't true, but that is the reason why Eddie family doesn't come around, because her family was accused of that, and it's so not true. Y'all better go back. She sure did. Thank you for the people that's remembering. I appreciate y'all. So she can say whatever she want now on her channel, but Bravo has the footage. And I'm sorry, Sebastian. Emmanuel, did you finish up, Emmanuel? I'm sorry.
Yeah, and to the people in the comments saying Nneka hasn't apologized, did y'all not see last night's episode? She literally said, let's meet up to talk about everything. But as we saw from the previews, Wendy's not even going to be able to have the conversation. She's going to get up and storm out because I guess she's not capable of doing so.
She's calling her mama a witch.
And is that
her mom called her and said she was going to put a spell on her. So yeah, if someone said that to me, I would call them a witch too. But last thing, Eddie looks like he's trapped. Blink twice if you're in danger. That's all.
Wendy,
Eddie hold on, it's Sebastian's turn, y'all. Sebastian, go ahead.
I'm so glad E and Emmanuel took this plane and made sure it had a spotlight in the air, because this was not a train anymore. It became a plane. It flew over the non-believer's eyes.
Ooh.
We can clearly see that there is colorism on this show. There really is. If Wendy is able to bring Gizelle, Robin, people who've come for her marriage and things like that, the lighter toned individuals to her events, and try to like be a little, have them here, but have some sort of problem with going to Nneka's event, it's very much there. It's very much there. Maybe Wendy has a colorist issue. I think that Wendy's mother is problematic. I will always say this. She's very problematic. She's very problematic. Her choice of words, it's very problematic. The way she spoke to me, I understand Mia threw something at her daughter. Agree, 100%. But those messages those comments were very problematic for her to put on Mia's post. Mia, they were very problematic. I do believe 100% what Nneka said about Wendy's mother. I believe that 100%. I do believe Susan is capable of calling someone and making those type of threats. 100%. Wendy doesn't want to move on is probably because she knows that what Nneka is probably saying is probably true. She probably knows that her mother is probably capable of making those type of threats. I don't know if she did something like that, but I know she's probably capable of making threats of that. 100%. Someone's at my doorbell. I'll be back. Go to the next topic.
Look at God, because God want to hear the truth. So that's where that intersection come in. Okay.
Oh, that's Wendy's mom.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, listen. The reason why Wendy said what she said that her family was from the Osu. Okay, Osu from the generation back means that they was doing stuff back in their history, in the generation. Wendy mama is a chieftain. Okay, but Osus do not want to be associated with a non-Osu because they feel like an Osu is like I just said, have the tradition of witchcraft and whatsoever back in their ancestry.
Listen, Katrina, hold on, Katrina. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even want to go down that road. I got some.
But I'm saying you said you.
Hold on, Katrina. What I said is that Wendy herself introduced this.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. That's what she said.
But you don't have to tell me. Hold on one second.
Okay, I'm just saying. That's what she did. She did say that, though. She did say that.
I know she said it because I watched the show. Hold on one second.
Me too.
No, hold on one second, please. Please. So, Real Housewives of Potomac, Wendy Oseppo's family, drama led to a cease and desist order. This was back in November of 2020. This is when this show aired. The Real Housewives of Potomac newcomer Wendy Oseppo recently issued out a cease and desist letters to her own in-laws amid heightened family drama. I will give you this article, but I want to come down to the point right here. Okay, her family and their ancestors had bad reputation because of evil stemming from past generations. They are Osu, essentially cursed. Osu families are avoided by non-Osu people. So this was not something.
Choose Advil Liquid Gel.
That's what I just said.
No, but we don't have to go back and forth, Katrina. I gotta let other people in the show. All I'm saying is, my only point was, I don't need an explanation about what it is, how it's considered this in Africa, this here, that there is evil. All I'm making a point is, I know what I saw. I saw what I saw. I heard what I heard. She said what she said. And my point was, she brought this into the platform way before Nneka arrived. That's all I'm saying. Smoke, you're in the building. What are your thoughts?
Oh gosh.
That was back in 2020, and this is 2024. But go ahead, Smoke.
Yes, howdy y'all.
Hey.
I mean, I won't lie. I the only reason I know about this show is because of Diva in this review, because it's just too much. And I think the kind of just the not even the point that's being missing, but just the implication. Whether Mama Wendy meant for voodoo or whatnot, it's just like in African culture, voodoo is looked at as a negative. You don't just call someone at witch, especially being West African yourself, you know what that entails. African mothers say whatever. They can say, oh, I will put wish on you, all kinds of things. They don't mean anything harm. But the way that has been dragged about in this entire season has just been very negative and just been very bad for not only the continent itself, but the country of Nigeria as a whole. And Nneka knows better, being a dark-skinned African woman. So she knew what she was doing by basically throwing that whistleblower term out and like trying to imply that, especially in the company of Robin and Gizelle. Period. So honestly, that I think I understand Wendy's point about that. Whether it's true or not, calling my mom a witch, especially a African woman, you know what that does and what that applies to her and towards my family. And the fact that you as a fellow African are okay with spewing that and not correcting that, being like, okay, you're saying your mom threatened me, fine. If Wendy's mom called you and threatened you, okay, say that. But to the fact that you want to say that the woman is a witch and she's practicing voodoo on you or implying that is problematic in itself. And you're right. Until you apologize to my mama and say, sorry, I'm not moving forward with you. I'm not even going to be in space with you, period. Be a grown woman and be an adult about it.
But you are in a space with her.
By force, because of a show and a job.
Come on now. Come on now.
No.
I can't. I'm about to shut this whole thing down. Because come on now. I cannot. You're not being forced, right? Just like you didn't speak to the other places, I would say I do not want her at my husband's launch party. A point blank in a period. A point blank in a period. If this means so much to you, it means so much to your culture. You don't want her in your space or in your face. Why is she at this launch party? But what kills me is, and I get it, it's a cultural thing, but it's no worse than somebody trying to destroy your marriage. It's no worse than somebody throwing a drink in your face and a pocketbook at you. So one minute you calling me a stupid, and the next minute you like, come on, I want to go ahead and make up with you.
But then they apologize in Mexico in the hotel room. Then they say sorry.
They did.
They sat down and have a conversation whether we felt that it was genuine or not, or if that's something we would have done. At least Mia went to her room and they had a
But then they had the reunion and they fell out again.
They all fell out at the reunion. No one really staying strong together except for Robin and Gizelle. Everybody comes for each other at the reunion because they want to be sure of their contracts for next season. Period.
But
Okay,
she was,
but
but she was mad at her this season too, because when Nneka and her got
And
into
ain't
it
none
at
of y'all
Karen's
gonna tell me
event.
y'all done been at
Well,
work
wait
with
a minute.
somebody
When
that was
they got
mean and
into it
hateful
at
and you had
Karen,
to deal with
wait
it.
a minute. When they got into it at Karen's event,
Mhm.
didn't Wendy then turn around and say to Mia, "Well, I'd like to make things right with you. I'd like to have a conversation with you." So if they had already gotten over it, what's the deal?
They say,
Listen, the
y'all, listen,
difference
y'all. They
is
said we gotta agree to disagree
no.
because
This
you
can I
never.
just say one thing, Diva?
Go
I'm
ahead.
so sorry. I know this is long. The, the difference is they came for Wendy. They apologized. This girl came for her mother. And y'all telling me if somebody come for your mother, calling him a witch, whatever, whatever, you gonna have beef forever. So I'm not sitting with you. I'm not packing out your boxes. I'm not doing nothing. I'm gonna show up for the job I have to do. So that's all that is.
So Shan, what I'm trying to get to y'all is the hypocrisy of it all, right? So if I'm with you, if you say something about my mother, I ain't got nothing for you. So when I say nothing for you, you're not coming to my husband's launch party.
Okay, Diva, can I ask you a question?
No, hold on. Let me finish. That's a point blank in a period. So you're saying if you're forced to go to scenes, then why was she forced to go to that party at Nneka's house? See, y'all not making sense there.
or to the Mother's Day
Y'all saying,
brunch.
so y'all
It's
saying
packing out
no,
boxes
no,
for
no, no, no,
God's
no, no,
sake.
no, 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 no.
Who
Y'all
would want to
saying
go?
no,
Who
no,
would
no.
be
Y'all
forced to go to
saying
that?
some things is forced to. When it comes to Wendy, she was forced to invite her and let her in. But now when it comes to Nneka, Wendy could say, no, I'm not going. Come on, y'all. Which one is it? Are we forced or we not?
Diva, can I answer that, Diva?
Yes, you can.
Somebody's house is their personal space. If I say I'm offended to go to somebody's house who said I'm witchcrafting them or putting voodoo on them, then production gonna have to honor that because we all beyond that. Like that's just beyond. I'm not coming into somebody. We was at a building, a place where I can get out anytime I feel safe. I'm not coming to your house in your personal space where I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just not doing it. I get it. I ain't doing that for no check, okay? I'll meet you at a public place because I can get up and exit. I know it's people here that'll rescue me if I need rescuing. But at your house, I'm on your terms. I'm on your turf. I'm
With
not doing
security there. With security there from the show.
Security didn't protect her when she was getting hit by purses and everything. Yeah. Security ain't protecting this girl the whole time.
And that was public.
So then bingo, in my opinion, even in a public space, she ain't being protected.
That part.
So what's the difference?
She'll be protected because there's somebody in that restaurant. Somebody
should
stand
show
up
up
for her.
nowhere then. She should show up nowhere where there's an enemy gonna be. Because you wasn't protected in that public place when Mia threw a drink in your face in her pocketbook at you.
Wendy would have invited her if Nneka walked up to her and say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, blah, blah. Nneka said, hey, can we sit down in private? No, B. Let's talk about it now. Apologize. Give me a genuine apology and we go from there. That's Nneka's problem. She feels entitled like Wendy has to be her friend.
What's happening on Potomac is happening right here on this recap.
What's happening? What's happening here? What's happening?
It's
divided.
But listen, let me say this. Who was trying to say something to me? I lost my train of thought.
I think Shan was saying that. I wanted to like piggyback off of something like that based off of something you said. So basically the last point you were making, David, then there would be no show if they were not forced to be in certain places with people, whether they like them or not. We would have no show. So yes, there will be instances where I don't like this hussy, but because my check and my deposit needs to hit by a certain amount of time, I'm gonna allow it just for the ensemble in the show. Wendy understands that. She understands she is not a singular character on the show. It depends on everybody. Now, other people may not have that same mission or opinion, but she gets the assignment once again. But y'all making it seem like reality TV is actual real life. It's scripted television. If you see the amount of writers and producers they have at the end of these credits, is it really reality TV that we're watching? Or is it just a scripted, supposed to be reality TV soap opera?
Just like y'all, because y'all trying to have me here all night and I won't do it. I refuse to do it. So wait, so Pretty Me J says, so does Nneka owe Wendy an apology? Listen, no, let me say this. That whole show, everybody owes everybody apology.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't understand is how come you can still interact with some and go ready to hug some that will never even consider giving you an apology? But you got one person who's trying to say, okay, I came in this door wrong. I messed up. And you won't even consider accepting her apology.
Because she ain't running the show.
Sense.
We all know who running the show. Gizelle and Karen is running the show. She got to stay in good graces with them. She can't stand Gizelle, but she's doing it for a check. We all said what it is. She's doing it for a check. I don't know how many times you ain't liked it. Your supervisor, your assistant supervisor, you smiled in their face and you was like, ooh, I can't wait for this day over.
No, but opinion, you know that Wendy wants to be accepted by Gizelle and Robin more than anything.
I don't think she do. I think she doing this for the check. I mean, let's be clear. Okay, first of all, if she really wanted to, let's be clear. She know what she had to do. She had to kiss they behind. And when they ain't did it not once.
That part.
Listen. She didn't apologize, Diva. Nobody apologizes on that show. Gizelle straight up says she ain't got nothing for Wendy and Candace. She said, I ain't got nothing for them. But yet, Wendy and Candace will still be up in their face. And she straight up said, I ain't got nothing for them.
And that's why the production made Gizelle go to that party. Because ain't no way, if I ain't got nothing for you, I'm not coming to your party willingly. She have to come. They have to show up, like in my opinion, said for a check. Because she came to that party, she ain't did none of that.
The part, like we said, we're gonna have to call this down the middle and just agree to disagree. Nobody's saying that you don't have to show up for a check. But what I'm saying is, it's ironic to me that you can pick and choose where you're going to show up and when you're going to get your check. Okay, that's what I'm saying. They didn't show up at Karen's event. So if everybody got to show up for a check, then they should have been on that van, that bus, or that whatever to go get that check in Surrey County. Okay, but they didn't because they didn't want to. And all I'm saying is, we have seen on previous Bravo shows where the people say, I don't care if she was invited, and production forced them in, just like Sweet T's wedding. She blocked Heavenly and whatever at the door, and then they let them in, right? So
it's because they paid for it.
Because they paid for it, right? But see, my thing is, at the end of the day, if we're gonna lay the
portion on the table,
if we're gonna lay the blueprint on the table, we can't flip and flop when we decide it's going to work because it's the person we like. I said, well, no, the only reason why they was there is because they got to show up for their check and they was forced to be there. But then when it's the other side, well, I wouldn't go in her house, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. And I think the engineers and the paramedics on their way. They need to come. They need to come because they got it worked up in here tonight. It's split. I don't even think it's down the middle. I think it's three of us. It's me, Sebastian. I think maybe E and Emmanuel. We're neutral and we're fair in this situation in our assessment. Give me a minute, y'all. Nikki.
Did you say Nikki?
Yes, I did. Did you get my email?
I did not.
Okay, I sent you an email.
Okay. I'll read it when I'm done. Okay, so I just want to because I literally just woke up and I heard y'all talking about something about Wendy, the Osu thing. I think you said you had an article about that it first got introduced by Wendy in 2020 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the context behind that is Wendy and Candace, honestly, are always responding to these women. So when Wendy brought that Osu situation up, it was because they asked her. Because I think Eddie said something about the reason that he doesn't speak to his mom is because of everything that you guys were saying, because Wendy was saying that his parents accused her of something sinister or whatever, or her family of something sinister. So it's not as if Wendy just walked out onto the stage and said, hey, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law and my husband's parents don't like me because of this, that, and the third. She was asked about that. And so her and Eddie talked about it, that she never even met their newest daughter or whatever. So I feel like you got to have a little bit of context behind that. And I also do think that maybe I'm overlooking it, but again, the reason Wendy feels however she feels about these women is 100% justified. And it's the same thing with Candace. These women concocted a plan, lied on these people's husbands, and and then they're supposed to be the people to sit around and say, okay, well, let's make nice. I'm not making nice with you about you saying my husband might have had a side baby, and and I'm getting my whole body reconstructed because I'm insecure about my husband liking, what do you call those, Instagram
Big
booty
booty
girls,
models.
right? And so that's why, because I'm so insecure. But what did Wendy, when she checked Gizelle, I think the season before last, Gizelle was talking about her getting her body done and basically body shaming her, and Wendy was said at the reunion, she said, Giselle, you had a tummy tuck, because they were saying that Giselle was basically saying Wendy got her body done and got this tummy tuck because she wanted to keep her man. And so Wendy just, replied right back to her. She said, well, you got a tummy tuck. Did you keep Jamal? No, you didn't. So shut up with that. Wendy did this for her purposes, and I feel like she should be able to. And they harassed that lady about that, and it's none of their business. Zero of their business. But I really don't see what Wendy has done, or really Candace for that matter, aside from Candace just going way below the belt, um, to these women. How, when, and where did Wendy or Candace provoke any of these people? Every single one of them said something about either their family or their husbands or whatever, and then Candace and Wendy has responded to what they said. And I do think this. I watched this last episode too, and at that it's Happy Eddie thing or whatever it was. I really appreciated that Nneka came and said, "Hey, Wendy, let's talk." Yes, this, that, and the third. I just feel this way. And I really do wish Wendy would have, agreed, but only for this reason, because I can promise you, this Nneka girl is she's playing the long game, because it's gonna, I promise you, it's gonna come up at the reunion where they're gonna say, Wendy she won't give this lady a chance. She asked her to come to her house. She didn't come. She didn't want to be invited. They're gonna, oh, Wendy is she's refusing to, talk to this lady and air it out. All of that is going to come to Wendy because Nneka's playing this game of, I'm going to ask her, so that when I'm going to ask this person to come and do something that I know they're not going to do, but I'm going to ask it so that way I can say at the reunion, it wasn't me. I reached out to Wendy. I tried to form a relationship with her, but Wendy's just mean. Wendy's just this, that, and the third. I wish Wendy would do this. I wish Wendy would give herself those same exact instructions. Show up to every single thing that Nneka, Gizelle, Ashley, and whomever else invites you to, so that you can appear that you're just the bigger person. Because I don't believe for a second Nneka is the bigger person. I do think Wendy has said some things, in my opinion, that definitely makes people raise eyebrows, and they're kind of like, I don't know if I believe you, about what you're saying. But they don't have the same smoke about, we don't believe nothing Robin said about Juan. They don't give them that much smoke. What about Gizelle and her? She brings a new man on the show every single year, and now she's saying again, Chris made me do this type of stuff. But Wendy has to be the bigger person. Candace has to be the bigger person and let this person in. Listen, there ain't nobody on planet Earth that could say something to me about my husband, about my family, or my mother, and I'm going to go have a sit down with them. And I get that this is a job, but if we're going to play that game, then they need to have Gizelle sit down with everybody, line everybody up, except with the exception of Robin, and have her sit down, and so she can apologize for all the nasty, disgusting, unnecessary lies that she's told in her behavior. They don't make her do any of that. So I don't understand why we have this different standard and different rules for Gizelle and Robin. We do. And it's the same thing with the husbands. The same exact thing. Juan didn't show up to however many reunions, but other people did. It's just not fair. And so to me, I think Wendy has to play the long game, and Nneka can't be trusted. It is what it is. Last thing I wanted to say, I don't know where Nneka's friends or whomever, if they got all this money, I don't understand those, $9.99 wigs they had on when they came to her house. I don't know if y'all discussed that or not, but that's not giving rich. And then the other thing too is I would love to have seen Nneka in her work environment. I still haven't seen that, because all we're talking about is Wendy. That's her whole, storyline. If you have all these other things going on, until this last episode, that's when she brought up her champagne business or whatever, which, that's good for her. but I don't know anything else about this Nneka lady. So I don't know where I'm supposed to go with it. And she's clearly been hired by the Green Eye Bandits. It's so clear. And I will say this one last thing about how they make sure that when they were saying something about Candace's behavior or Wendy's behavior, they always flash back to something that Wendy said or how she responded, like they did with, oh, Wendy came into someone's house and she didn't hug Gizelle. Well, we all saw clearly with our own two eyes that when Wendy walked in Ashley's house, Gizelle moved to the left immediately. She was not ready to receive Wendy, even if Wendy wanted to. So we shouldn't play that game of, Wendy is doing the same exact stuff that Gizelle is doing, which is avoiding people and not speaking to people. Wendy's not doing that. If you move to the side when I'm trying to, maybe just say hi to you, then that's the clear indication non-verbally that you're not messing with me like that. And so I don't see why Wendy, this is my last thing, I do not see why Wendy or Candace need to apologize to anybody for any reason, because those people did something to them. It is not the other way around. This idea that what's her name? Ashley is mad at Chris and she doesn't want him in her hemisphere and this, that, and the third. What did Chris do to you? You brought a whole Sesame Street character and her friends onto this show to accuse me of something that I never did. But I'm supposed to be, you don't want me in your space? It's the same thing with Gizelle. You said all of these things about Candace's husband. You said all this stuff about Happy Eddie and about Wendy, but they're acting as if they're the victims. I just don't understand how that makes good sense to them. It doesn't make sense to me. If you cuss me out, that I somehow owe you an apology. Wendy didn't provoke Gizelle. Gizelle provoked Wendy. Candace didn't provoke Ashley and Gizelle and whomever else. They provoked her. So I don't understand how this whole narrative has been playing the whole season that they're in the wrong and they need to apologize and they need to kind of like get back into the good graces of these people. These people are not good. They're not. Nothing that they've done that I can see is good aside from maybe raising their kids. But that's it.
Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Wendy has grown up and realized it ain't worth the stress of trying to be cool with these two dragons.
Facts. I love that comment.
When did that happen? Thank you for the super chat, but when did that happen? When did the grow up happen? Did I miss it?
Right now. Are you serious, Diva? Are you serious?
I'm being dead serious. Listen, if y'all, okay, you know what? Too bad we can't do a watch party because we would really need to watch the episode together. I don't know where y'all see growth and maturity. I don't. I mean, I guess I'm blind, but I can go watch the whole Catch Your Breath, sweetie. Come on. Listen, I gotta go back because I don't see growth and maturity in her. See, Candace and Wendy had an opportunity.
You can't see something you don't want to see.
Listen, let me come on, smack to you. Whoa. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I pride myself in the ability, like, to be fair, even if I truly like the person. And Wendy and Candace had a major opportunity. And when they had a major opportunity at the reunion, because they had the fans calling, you know, for colorism and all of that, those two sat at the reunion and they said, nah, this ain't happening. But out of the same mouth that they said it's not happening, or I believe it was the same reunion, or maybe it was the next one, Candace said, but you want to sit here with your white privilege behind.
The same one.
It was the same one.
Okay, I appreciate y'all for that. And Dr. Who. I'm like, what? You're confused. How do you expect not to have a whole season after season of confusion when you're confused? When it's time to stand up and tell the truth and speak the truth, you can't even do it. But then you want episodes to happen and act like, oh, justice should come your way. No, you're going to continually get disrespected. Why? Because those two girls know at the end of the day, you will always put the train in reverse and speak up for them. They know it.
Can I say one thing?
Give me a minute. I'm sure the cast had a whole discussion. And they knew they had to deal with this colorism thing because they had all the fans in an uproar about it. They was like, no, we don't need to bring in a neutral person. We're going to discuss it amongst ourselves. And no, we don't feel that anybody is colorist, this, that, and the other. And then 2 seconds later, what does she talk about? Unless I'm going to do a Cat Williams. Maybe people don't understand the definition of these words. She turned around and she called her saying, your white privilege behind. What are we doing? It's the foolery of it all. And then they want to play mind games. And then they want to say, Miss Diva, they are going to be gaslight either way, but they should have stood firm. That part right there. Stand your ground. Come on, flip-floppers. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because if you remember that girl from Basketball Wives OG at the reunion, she said, I think you're a colorist, I think you're a colorist, and I think you're a colorist. Like, she said it directly.
Right.
Remember that?
And I don't know why we throwing Candace in
And
this,
she ain't
because
on the
Candace
show.
has been throwing Wendy under the bus in her confessionals all season. Candace ain't with Wendy and her foolishness. Just
Come
go
on.
back and
Good
watch it.
point. Good point, Eve.
Can I say this? Can I
Come
say
on.
this? Because
Yes.
we really just need context. One, I know I've said this before. It is not Wendy and Candace's job to tell their employer that we need to have that some sort of ism is happening. It's the employer's job to do so. So I don't know why.
Listen, I don't want to go. I don't want to listen. If I'm being wronged on the job, my employee is supposed to just have glasses and be seeing everything. So I need to go tell my employees what's going on here.
But they did. That's my point.
I'm sorry if my neighbor in the job, my coworker is being colorist to me. I gotta go tell the HR people. They supposed to just know everything that's going on with me. If my boss is doing me dirty, I gotta go to HR and say my boss is doing me dirty. It is my job to say what's going down.
Let's not do that, because this is why. I know you guys have noticed every time they want to point something out about Candace or Wendy, they do a flashback. Right? So they keep flashing back to Candace being disrespectful with her mouth. They keep flashing back to whatever it is that Wendy has done. But meanwhile, we've not seen one time them play the audio. Hold on one second. We haven't seen them play the audio one time.
We're not going to. You want to know why? Because there's a blueprint for every show. And I'm not even on reality TV, and I know this, right? There's a blueprint for every show. There's going to be a villain. There's going to be a top dog. And that top dog can do anything.
This is not that.
No, let me finish. A top dog can do anything. Listen, if you go to Target right now, any local Target, Walmart in your area, and you speak to all the workers in the building, they're going to tell you, oh, yeah, that's the manager pet over there. That's in Walmart, in Target. You go to corporate America, pick anyone. I don't care. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, I don't know, whatever corporate world you want to go to. Oh, that's the boss pet right there.
I appreciate.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Every single job in the world, there is a manager that has their favorite. Now, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, it is what it is. But there's every manager in this world has their favorite. Some of them show it and it's obvious. Some of them, there is not obvious, but you know who they are. So it is what it is. So you telling me, oh, because they show these scenes in flashbacks, I don't disagree with that. Why? Because we already know on the Real Housewives of Potomac is Gizelle and Robin. Robin has done nothing since she came on that show. But because Gizelle is Robin's friend, Robin will never, ever get fired. Robin should have got fired for that nonsense she did last season. You wanted to go behind your paywall. You wanted to hide everything that was going on with you and Juan. People had got fired for less. They kicked Kenya off a whole season because she got married to Mark off season. Robin does that BS. In the next season, we thought we wasn't going to see her. We saw her. So you telling me, oh, because they show flashbacks when it comes against Wendy and Candace, you don't say. I already know that. But the thing is, Candace and Wendy are living it. When do you take the game, look at the rules, see how they keep moving the pendulum, and you get smarter than them. When do you do that? Do you do that season 20? Do you do it season 30? Do you do it when your kids graduate from college on that show? Or do you learn how to finally work the game that is being played against you? Hold on one second. Thank you for the super chat. Understand that colorism is about people in authority giving favor to light-skinned people. Bravo gives favor to Gizelle and Rob. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you.
So the only thing I would like to say is what you were just describing about, the flashbacks, and we already know that this is how the game is set up and they need to go get the playbook and study it, I guess, or whatever. To me, that is all very adjacent to institutional racism, right? It's Bravo that is making a specific choice to highlight every negative thing that Candy says, every negative thing or hypocritical thing that Wendy has done, but intentionally not highlighting anything other people are doing. That is the system. So I'm supposed to go.
You missed my whole
I'm
question.
supposed to. No,
You
but
didn't
one
miss my
second
whole
though. But 1 second. If the system is still going to do these things to me, it doesn't matter that the whole Bravo hemisphere had
I'm
my
closing
back.
out. I'm closing out, y'all, because we're walking backwards and we're walking.
No, I'm saying though this.
Hold on. This is Diva Show. We're walking backwards. We're bumping into each other. We're crashing into walls, and we're going to do just like the Real Housewives of Potomac. At the end of the day, we're going to get nowhere. Racism is everywhere. Racism is on YouTube. Racism is on TikTok. Racism is on Instagram. But there are still people of color winning in those individual spaces. Racism is on almost probably every single job. And if you don't know how to play the game and figure the situation out, you are always going to be, woe is me, sorry about this and that, I can't win, so forth and so on. But I'm telling you, get the playbook, understand that it exists. You have to figure out how to live within it. Don't tell me, Michelle, you can leave, and I'm being so serious. I'm being real serious now. Because listen, one thing I do, I can respect other people's opinion. If I'm wrong, I will say I'm wrong. But because I have my point, and then my point doesn't agree with somebody else's point, it's not me can admit that I'm wrong. If you don't think racism is everywhere, I'm wrong on that. You don't have to play the game everywhere you go. I'm wrong on that. You don't have to play the game on your job. I'm wrong with that. Come on now. Let's have a conversation and be real. Let's have a conversation and be real. No matter where you go and what you do, you never had a manager that had a favorite. I'm not shutting down my panelists. Have you heard how long they talked? Are you entertained? Get entertained. Because you heard how long they talked? I'm on 1 hour and 30 minutes. This is the first show in the longest time that I have spoken so much. You got to come through and be through to know what I'm about. Come on now. I'm keeping it real with y'all. If you want to say that no one has ever worked a job where a manager has a favorite, they're everywhere. You think your boss is going to guess what's wrong with you? No, you got to tell them. You got to speak up. And then when it comes time to speak up, you got to be ready to stand in your stuff and not back down. But see, you know what happens a lot of time? Just like, what's that girl that said she was going to get the union for all of the housewives? Where is she now? What's her name?
Bethany Frankel.
She rallied the people up. She was going to get a whole union for them. Where is she now? But I told you that. Because see, when it comes time to really stand up, when you look behind you after you go and you talk to the boss and you say this, you look behind you, all the people that was in the lunchroom with you, into this with you, now they're gone. So they had a moment to stand up and they back down. And then you wonder why the same systematic stuff is happening to you. Because when you had the opportunity to speak, you punked out. I told y'all straight up, and I ain't lying. I ain't punk out nowhere, wherever I go. You're not going to hear me crying in the streets. Woe is me. I know racism exists. I know this happens. I know that happens. I know colorism happens. dealt with it all. But when you know about it, then you got to learn and you got to do better. Bethany had a whole thing for them. I was going to do this union. It puffed up and the smoke went out of it. Where's the union now? They still getting done dirty. Where is the union? I immediately said, where's your scooter? Where is the union? So listen, Wendy and Candace has been going through this for how many seasons? All I'm saying is, do we need season number 20 for them to realize that there's a game being played and they got to figure it out and be smarter? I got to close out because y'all done got me worked out. Wendy and Candace don't care about that stuff. They do care about it because they're bothered about it every show. Candace sat on that couch and said, oh, the reason why Robin not speaking to me is because she don't want my black behind here. I watched this show, and guess what? When I watch it before I come up here to do these recaps, I watch it twice. We can agree to disagree, but you see what you see. I see what I see. Yeah, and it's okay to have a difference of opinion, and I let everybody have their opinion. Come through. I'll do 2-hour recaps, and now all the time, I'm not talking a whole lot. So I don't like the narrative of I don't like this. I don't like the people speak. No, I ain't doing that over here no more. Not in 2024. Y'all came with that way back when, and I'm blocking it because I got a right to. So Wendy and Candace don't want to block it. Listen, I don't need to go to HR. I am HR. I'm blocking it.
Choo, choo, choo.
Choo, choo, choo. That's it, and that's all. See, you don't come over here. I do give each panelist their time. And some panelists cut into other panelists' time. You got to come back here and look at it, girlfriend. And I have to ask that panelist to stop because it's the next panelist's time. And then a panelist, when I'm talking, will cut me off. So you don't know what you're talking about. Goodbye.
Diva does let us talk.
Thank
get
you,
so much
Shan.
freedom of speech. And thank you, Diva. We talk more than Diva talks. I don't know what y'all be watching.
I don't know what they be watching either. Because y'all do talk more than I talk.
Yeah, and I intrude on everybody's conversation.
Yeah, I am on one tonight. Cause I don't like the false narratives because that's what Wendy and exactly what y'all doing. That's what Wendy and Candace is talking about. You're putting 20 on 10. Bye. Wrong live. I know that's right. Wrong live. Bye. Yeah. I let the people talk. I am on one tonight. Come on now.
Diva, Diva,
Jonah, I thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Okay, go ahead.
Can I just say this? I just wish you had the same smoking energy for Gizelle and Robin when they be on their bullcrap. That's all.
No, but you know what, Smoke? What you don't understand is I do. So what you don't understand is I already said, I told you Robin hasn't worked from the minute she got there. What else do you want me to say? I said Robin was dead wrong with everything that went on with Ron. What else do y'all want me to say? If somebody come to you and they say, so-and-so is bothering me, and I keep telling you, well, you got to speak up and do something about it. And you don't, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Yes, go ahead.
And Diva, I totally agree with you, and I am absolutely on your side, Emmanuel's side with Wendy and what's going on. But my thing is, where is the outrage and where is the backlash for Gizelle for what she did or said about Chris in her confessional last night? I was so disgusted with the body shaming that she did and said about Chris, because I do believe that Chris, I hear echo that Chris is in some form of depression. And do you hear echo? I'm sorry.
I did hear echo. It went away. Yeah.
Okay. I do believe that Chris is going through some form of depression right now. And if that would have been if that would have been a man saying that about a woman, every blogger, every news outlet, everyone would be tearing that man to shreds for body shaming a woman and talking about her weight and how she looked. And that was so disgusting from Gizelle to say that about Chris last night. So I just don't understand why we're not hearing that or seeing that this morning about what Gizelle,
And
and
you
I
know,
agree everything with what I haven't
go ahead.
heard that on anyone mention it. I do agree with all the energy and everything being said about the Nneka and Wendy conversation, but I have not heard anyone speak about what Gizelle said about Chris last night.
And can I tell you, I did a little video on that. I did a little video on that because I thought it was wild. I did. Matter of fact, hold on 1 second. I'm not going to play it. Wait. I did a little video on that because I thought it was absolutely wild. And I'm like, the stuff they get away with is disgusting, right? But see, the same people that bring the smoke and the heat about Wendy. But as you stated, where was the smoke and the heat for what Gizelle says? Even the people don't comment about the things that Gizelle says loud and clear, right? But I sure did. I said, and it was very short because it didn't need to be that long. I said, so nasty. Hey, y'all, I'm here with a quick video. Are y'all still watching the Real Housewives of Potomac? You know, listen, if you are and you saw last night's episode, which I'm going to be recapping on my channel today at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, join me if you're free. But in the meantime, Gizelle is a piece of work. You said Chris Bassett, that he pretty much made you afraid. You were scared. You didn't know what he was going to do. When he was in a hotel room with you with the door closed, you put 2110. You said you don't have nothing to say to him. You don't want to even look at him. But yet you do look at him because you claim he gained weight. And then you want to make fun saying, oh, he must have gained. All I want to say is that I stand on my stand. I stand on business. I did that earlier, but you see, nobody even watched it. So my thing is the outrage even is
I watched it.
No, I know you did, bro. But you see what I'm trying to say. You know, the outrage is one-sided. And people don't come tell me I'm one-sided because I'm not. What I see, I report. What I see, I report. And I said she was all kind of nasty and rude. Where they do that at? And she got away with destroying this man's life by acting like he was a common predator.
And getting him fired from all his jobs.
All his jobs, right? But my thing is, why didn't the people get an outrage and say that chick should have been fired for doing that, what she did to him last season? What she did to him was disgusting.
They did, but Bravo is protecting her.
No, but you know what, though? They ain't do it hard enough. And my thing is, Wendy and Candace, there's your moment. Ride that thing till the cows come home like they ride y'all. So I'ma sit here and fight when they flip-flop on their own fight when they get the opportunity to. They don't even stand their ground. If a chick does that to me in my marriage, I don't care if she's the ring got the ring that needs to be kissed. I'm not kissing her ring. She could kiss my behind and Bravo could have this whole check. Because I told y'all before, I will live in a studio apartment. But I ain't gonna lose all my integrity, my husband, and all of that nonsense over no TV show. I'm not. Listen, guys, I'm out of time because y'all done got me worked up. Come on now. With the receipts. Diva pull up the HR with the receipts. Listen, let me tell you something. When it comes to work, I stand on business. I don't play. And listen, let me tell you this. I'll just say this real quick. I show up on time. I do my job. I got integrity. But what I'm not going to do is sit around for 3, 4, 5 years being done dirty and I didn't tell somebody. Because then it becomes I'm the problem. What can change if you don't speak up? Everybody thinks somebody saw something. A manager's a manager. They can't see every single thing that's going on 24/7. They can't. It's up to you to speak up. It's up to you to follow through. It's up to you to make sure that they respect you. You know, all these people want to come out after the fact. When they leave, they want to talk about how bad Bravo was. Because while they getting that $2 million check, they could take anything. When you getting the $800,000 check, you could take anything.
Diva, can I just say one thing?
One thing, I got to get out of this building.
But I'm just going to give you the same advice you give us.
Yeah.
Catch the train, don't catch feelings.
No, but see, here's the thing.
I know.
Everybody else caught their feelings.
That's what I'm talking about.
No.
Let me say this.
That part.
Let me say this. What I catch feelings about is when you want to say in the chat, I don't give people a chance to talk. The devil is a liar.
Oh, no, I ain't doing that.
The devil is a liar. When you want to say in the chat that just because I have my opinion, I can't accept anybody else's opinion. People throw the facts back at me all the time. I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I forgot that.
You do.
I'll be like, I forgot that. But when I throw the facts out, now all of a sudden, I can't stand anybody else's opinion. I'm telling you, from what I remember, the Osu stuff was brought up first by Wendy back in 2020 when they was about to have that thing. And when she tried to explain why Eddie's family was not in their lives. Now, maybe I don't have it verbatim because I got a life. That happened in 2020. This is 2024. But what I did want to shut down smoking, I appreciate you. But what I want to shut down is, because I'm not going to allow it in my chat no more. When people want to try to tell me after I'm 2 hours in that I don't let people speak. I won't accept that nonsense over here no more. Not today, not now, not no more. What Sweet Tea said? No more.
You mean Arnold Palmer?
Okay, no more. Yes, Diva is fair. Sometimes we all disagree. That's it. But I'm tired of people throwing that narrative out there that I don't allow people to speak. When I go around this panel and we're 10 deep, that 10 includes me, and I give the people the opportunity to speak. And then when someone else is speaking, sometimes I have to stop somebody else to let that other person have their moment. And then maybe in between, I will interject something. So I just don't want that out there anymore because I'm over it, right? You know what I'm trying to say? Because I feel like I run a very fair channel here. And on top of that, I really do care about, because the people that come on my panel, for the most part, it's the same people. And we're all good with each other. No matter if we disagree on this screen, behind the scenes, at the end of the day, we're all good. We're all good. So I don't like that out there. Like, you don't this, you're not fair. Because y'all don't want to hear out my mouth what's coming out my mouth. That's fine. But and one thing I won't ever do too, I don't never say nothing just to be given a show. Everything I say, I stand on it and I believe on it. When I told y'all I was in my house, I ain't had no furniture. I had no furniture. I was in my house. When I tell you I ain't got no problem living in a studio apartment, but I'm going to keep my integrity, I ain't got no problem with living in no studio apartment to keep my integrity. When I tell y'all that I'm not going to sell myself out for $1, I ain't going to sell myself out for $1. So all I'm saying is they get on that show, they get used to that check, and they will do anything for the check. But then they want to turn around and talk about how they're being done dirty. Pick a side. Which struggle you want? Do you want to keep your $1 million check, or do you want integrity? I love you back. Listen, guys,
Can I say one thing, Dee, before we go? Only thing I want to say is I'm new to the, and as far as I can see, we all have different opinions. We all gonna disagree. Everybody have their own eyes. Everybody gonna see what they want to see. And what I'm saying is, when I came on this panel, I try to say things that I see for myself. And I'm gonna say, yeah, we gonna disagree. Everybody's not gonna get along. The world won't be real if everybody get along. So, when you give me a chance to speak, yes, I do sometimes overtalk or whatever, and I apologize for that. That's just a debate thing. But I'm just gonna say you are fair, and we're not gonna let these people destroy our feelings, because these people are on TV and probably when spit on us if our eyelids was on fire. So they're not gonna destroy our relationship with each other on this panel, is what I'm saying to people. So it's not like we fussing with each other, just giving out different opinions. Everybody's not going to have the same opinion. But I do like being on this panel, and I appreciate it. And I thank you.
We appreciate you too. Listen, I can never.
And don't come up here if you don't like us either.
That part.
Well, amen. It finally got damn said. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Drop like.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, y'all.
Good night. Good God.
Good night.
Good night.